Okay, we're trying this again. It was broken already once. Now we've got chat going. So, take two. Welcome to Waking Up with Waffles, the series where we get up really early in the morning and play video games. Today we are going to go back to my old school roots. Something that got me, a couple viewers here and there. We're going to play some Helldivers and just enjoy the war. If you've not kept up on Helldivers, here is the Galactic War update. We lost another planet. The black hole has sucked in its second victim and exploded it into nothingness. So bye bye planet. Goodbye. So we don't know we don't know what's going on there, right? We don't know how to stop this black hole, but it's getting way too close to Earth. Look at that. There's 4 planets between us and it, and one of those is Mars. I'm pretty sure Mars is somewhere in here. I don't want to lose Mars. Okay, there's Mars. So if we lose Mars, we lose everything. So these planets, not as big a deal, but we can't lose anymore. So here's what I'm thinking this morning. I'm thinking the squids just made us lose a whole planet. So let's go get some vengeance on them. I feel like they owe us some blood for the evil they have just wrought. So let's go take out a few squids just for fun. For funsies. Teach them a lesson for destroying our planet. You send one to the hospital, we send one to the morgue, that sort of deal, right? So let's see here. We're gonna land right there, and we are going to go with one of my more favorite builds for dealing with the squids, and that is fire. Lots and lots of fire. So let's grab a flamethrower. Let's grab a jetpack. And let's grab some napalm. And a precision strike. And then we need to change our armor to the salamander armor so that we can't be hurt by fire. All right, we're gonna go teach the squids a little bit of a lesson in manners, I guess. And if any of you saw the blood moon last night, tell me about it. I thought I was gonna stay up to watch it, but I'm old. I got tired at like 9:30, so I couldn't stay up. So if you saw the blood moon, the solar or lunar eclipse last night, how was it? Did anyone actually stay up to see it? Because I've heard it's really cool, but I missed it. I missed it bad. Welcome in and happy Friday to everyone. We have made it to the end of the week. An event I'm thinking about going to today is kind of a neat event I didn't think I'd get to see. Our local area is pretty famous for having a carousel. It's nothing special, but it's pretty iconic for the area. And they are doing a dedication today. They were replacing one of the horses on the carousel with a newly built unicorn. And so they're dedicating Mr. Sprinkles the unicorn to our I didn't choose a booster. Did I choose a booster? I don't feel like I got to choose a booster. I think I messed up. Mr. Sprinkles, we're going to get a brand new unicorn on our carousel. I thought it'd be kind of cool to see them installing that and putting that in and being there for a dedication. That unicorn's going to be there for years and years and years and years, right? So kind of cool. Bubble's here this morning already. Hello, Bubble. Glad you could make it this time and not at the very, very end. I'm streaming a little bit later than usual because, like I said, I was up late waiting for the blood moon. You have no clue what I'm saying. I'm just here to ask your specs for Helldivers. What specs are you looking for? Like my what I dive with, or like my computer specs? Which one? I will gladly share all my secrets. All right, we've already got a tripod spawning. This is not great for us because we are not built for fighting tripods. We are built for fighting everything but tripods. So let's set it on fire. How about that? Fire wins again. Computer specs. Okay, so my computer is not a fair one to compare most things to because I invested in a streaming PC. So I am running a 4090 and a 15th generation i9 14900KF, I think. So it was top of the line, and then the 50 series came out, so not quite as top of the line anymore, but still pretty high specs. I've heard that it doesn't require like a super powerful computer to run, but if you want it to, of course, look super awesome, that does require a stronger PC. So happy to be here at the beginning of this time. Just can't stay too long because I have mother's group at church today. That's okay. That's all right. I always appreciate when y'all can drop by. Makes your PC look like a budget laptop. They have optimized the game pretty well, but I have also heard certain enemies, like the squids I'm fighting here now, are much more like intense to run. So I have actually heard that depending on what enemies you're fighting will also impact your ability to run the game. 8 gigabytes of RAM and 2080 GeForce. That should probably run it. It won't be at like max specs, but I'm pretty sure that is good enough to at least run the game. Let's see. Where is... Grab this. Okay, Google. What are the specs to run Helldivers 2 on PC? Oh well, that was bloody. You ran Ghost of Tsushima? All right, let's see here. To run it smoothly at 1080p, 60 FPS according to the internet, you need an RTX 2060 and an Intel i7 9700K. So I believe you have above that. So as long as you're not trying to run like not trying to run 4K or anything, I believe you should be able to run it smoothly for most things. I think you're going to be okay on that. Also, Bubble, you'll be very excited to hear. People have been asking me to run a food blog for a while for all of my absolutely wonderful, delicious recipes. And I have finally decided to do it. So today I'm going to make my first recipe, which is going to be spicy chocolate pudding, which is chocolate pudding with hot sauce in it. Kiddo just woke up and whispered helicopter, but he said like helicopter. Your kid is absolutely adorable. There is no denying that. It's either this Helldivers 2 or Titanfall 2. That's a tough one. Titanfall 2, I know it's an older game now, but it still has a pretty dedicated player base, and it's still pretty enjoyable to play, and you can usually get it for like $5 because everyone thinks it's a dead game. So it's really hard for me not to recommend Titanfall, because it is truly a great game. It really is a great game. Worth playing. Great community. Great everything. But Helldivers 2 is also excellent, fully alive. Tons of people playing it at all times. And they just announced yesterday in the Discord, they are starting a board game for it. So sometime in April, we're going to get some details on a brand new Helldivers board game that is going to be hopefully excellent. If you can pick up Titanfall 2 for $3, Titanfall 2 is worth it for $3. Playing through the campaign, enjoying the multiplayer, I would, if I only had $3 to spend, I would definitely spend it on getting Titanfall 2. That has been a wonderful game. I probably put about 50 hours into it, which granted isn't a lot. I kind of missed when it was in its heyday, but I still jumped in and had a lot of fun playing it. Got bored with Stardew when I got a friend, preferably a female one, to play with. There's a couple other cozy games that are coming out here soon that will be worth playing, hopefully, as well. I know a few Stardew Valley clones just came out, so I feel ya. I know some people, Bubble especially, love Stardew Valley, and Stardew Valley is a great game. I love Stardew Valley. There is no flaws with Stardew Valley, but, you know, I get bored with it as well. Like, I need a little bit more challenge, a little bit more action in my run. I'm usually not a cozy gamer. So, it's a good game. There's nothing wrong with it, but I do get bored with it after a while. That tower. No, you jumped right on the Tesla tower. You're gonna get exploded. Run. Stardew deserves every bit of great things people say about it. Definitely, Stardew Valley is a wonderful game, but it can get boring. I fully agree with that. Though they did just launch. There's a if you enjoyed Baldur's Gate, they just released a new mod for Stardew Valley that replaces all the NPCs with Baldur's Gate NPCs. So if you like Baldur's Gate, that'll exist. Good morning, Dex. But I'll tell you, one of the things that makes me so mad in gaming journalism is exactly that, where like so they just released a Baldur's Gate 3 mod for it. Okay, I enjoy that. And then they release articles that say there's a brand new crossover game between Baldur's Gate and Stardew Valley, and I say, wow, that's kind of cool. I can't wait to see what kind of game is that. And then it just turns out that it's a mod. Gaming journalists need to learn that a mod is not a brand new game. The same thing happened to me with there was a new mod that came out that lets you play as the guy from Days Gone in Red Dead Redemption 2. And so someone posted an article saying there's a new game that's a crossover between Red Dead Redemption and Days Gone. And I love both those games. I was like, oh man, I love both those games. That's going to be a really cool crossover. I can't wait to learn more about it. So I click on the article and they're like, yeah, this new mod lets you play as Zeke or Deke or whatever in Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, okay, that's cool, but that's not a brand new game. That's not a new exciting game. That's just modding a character into a current game. It's so frustrating how many publications do that, you know? It's clickbait. It's half clickbait and half AI, but it got me and it annoyed me. It annoyed me something fierce. All right, are we done with this map? Did we full clear it? I feel like we've cleared this map up. Nope, there's a SAM site right over here. Let's get that. Waffles, I don't know if I'll be helldiving today. I lost a family member last night, but I hope you're having fun. Great for you to join me. I'm sorry to hear about the family member. We can definitely add them to our prayers at the end of the stream today. I have been lucky enough that I have not really lost a lot of family members. The most recently I lost one of my elderly grandparents, but I've never lost like a family member that I was super close with. So I don't have that experience of what it's like to really go through that suffering. So I apologize. I don't have that experience to relate to it, but I understand that must be very hard. And there's no sound? That is not normal. Let me see if I can fix that once I'm out of danger here. I feel like before Dex joins the stream, he has to take a deep breath. You know, I was thinking about Dex the other day because, oh well, this is bad timing. Okay, let's see if we can fix the sound really quick. Okay, there, maybe that should, I bumped up by about 10 decibels, so that should be better. I was listening to an article someone wrote about the fascinating world of people who hate watch and hate follow. So they'll go on social media and they'll follow people not that they like, but people that they absolutely despise, and listen to their every word just to hate on them. I was like, I wonder if Dex falls into that category for me. Like, does he really hate my opinions that much? Is that better on the sound? Because like Dex just missed it. We were talking about, I'm gonna start a food blog today, and my first recipe is going to be chocolate pudding with hot sauce in it. So I feel like that's the sort of thing that Dex comes here just to hate, like just to get that satisfying hate for. Oh, there's a Gatling gun there. You definitely do. Okay, let's check. Maybe my sound... Let's turn sound up. Okay. That should be a lot more... That should be a lot more sound there. I egregiously just tossed my lunch. Okay, so I knew that was going to be people's reactions, but here's the thing, like, people eat hot or chocolate bars with like hot sauce in it all the time, or like spicy, like that spicy and sweet, that sweet heat. Like that is a common trope in the world of cooking, right? So what is the difference between doing a spicy chocolate bar, a sweet heat chocolate bar, and spicy chocolate pudding? Like, it's the same thing. So I can't see how that won't be good. You can't convince me that it won't be good. I'm fully willing to be wrong after I make it and try it, but I feel like it's the concept is conceptually there. Can't say I know anyone else who will do that. That is one thing you will constantly find with waffles is I say, do, and think things that do not fall in line with anyone else. I am a free spirit in that way. I enjoy my oatmeal with hot sauce. I enjoy my pickle and chip pizza. I enjoy my terrible, terrible opinions. I enjoy being so awful at Pokemon that I lose a Nuzlocke after the first run. I just enjoy those things. Ironically, I just don't eat enough waffles. Honestly, that's what I'm missing out on. I'm a weirdo. I am proudly a weirdo. I stand differently, and I take no issue with that. How is Bro a mod anyways? Dex is a mod for many reasons. Dex has been here for so long. Two, Dex sticks through it. There have been many streams that I've done to just one person, and that is Dex. So even if Dexter doesn't necessarily like my content, I trust him to be here always and to scare the trolls off when they inevitably come in. Which is honestly also the weirdest part. Like, there's so many things for people to make fun of me for, and yet it's never my terrible opinions. It's never that sort of thing. It's always just like, oh, well, you're fat. Like, okay, I don't disagree with you, but like, come on, I'm eating pizza with pickles on it. You have so much better ammunition than to call me fat. Like, there's so much more you could do. You could be way more creative, you know? Oh, I missed that one. Professional hater. I definitely think professional hater applies. That is... But in a respectful way. Dexter hates me for the legitimate things. He doesn't come in here to call me fat or dumb for being Catholic. He comes here to call me dumb for liking hot sauce on oatmeal. You know, there's a difference, right? One is respectful, one is just trolly. That's the difference. Whew. There are a lot of enemies. Let's back up and knock some of these flyers out of the air. Oh, maybe not.
Calling in reinforcements.
I don't understand why fat people be sensitive. I've always joked about being fat and the joker of my friend group. You know, I understand for so many people that it's a lot of like it's insecurity about it, and there are people who take it too far. Like, I understand that there can be some jokes about it. I don't mind a good joke about it either. But then there's also people who, like, you know, you come online here to have a good time with people, to stream with people, to talk and have fun, and when people invade your space simply to insult you, and that happens on a daily basis, I can see where that gets old really fast, right? Where you just want to stream, you just want to have fun, you just want to chat with the community, and you don't want to deal with people coming in, invading your space, and treating you that way. So I definitely understand why people do get upset about it.
Reinforcing. Calling in reinforcements.
And then there's also, like, I've never watched him, but I see like his content pop up across my channel every now and then. Queso, who's made it like his whole shtick is come in and bully me for content. And like, I understand that he's made it his own and that he's making money off that, which, you know, stick it to the haters definitely. But it also encourages that behavior. I have to imagine a great deal of his audience is young kids who go in there to bully him, and then afterwards they go to other streamers and treat them just as poorly. And that's where it's like he's teaching his audience to be bad. And I have to say I disagree with that, which is always one of the most shocking things. This is like my most unpopular opinion, and it only shocks me it's an unpopular opinion when I say that we should hold companies accountable to help prevent things like Xbox 360 chat or the Call of Duty chat, where people just come in to say the most vile and wretched things, and people get upset like, well, I have a right. I have a right to insult and bully people. I have a right to call them racial slurs, and you can't take that away from me. And it's shocking how many people feel entitled to being able to treat people poorly, and it's like that's my God-given right to treat people poorly. And I can't understand where that mentality comes from. But I have to imagine some of it comes from people like Queso. Trolling and hating is just to see a reaction. I definitely understand it's just to see a reaction, but it also, like, he feeds into that, right? He gives them that reaction, and so they continue to do that. It's alright, not everyone speaks English as a first language, not everyone types English as a first language. Some people have disabilities that make it harder to type. There's nothing wrong with that. I have a family member like that, where their texting is very, very hard to understand, but you get used to it, and it's not necessarily his fault. There's a lot of factors at play, so ain't nothing wrong with it. Alright, we got 45 seconds to finish this mission. Let's see if we can do it.
Dropping package. Package acquired. T-minus 30 seconds. Requesting backpack.
It's your whole group chat.
Never mind. Dropping package.
ETA T-minus 20 seconds.
That is That is something I have missed out on. I've never had, I don't think I've really had a true group chat experience, you know? That was a little bit after my time. Back in my day, text messages cost every single text message you sent, so there was no such thing as a group chat, because the group chat would bankrupt you in a matter of a day or two. That is something I am so glad is gone. The two things I am so glad are gone. One is the pay per text message. That was awful. I'm also glad that we got Discord, in the days of like having to pay for a TeamSpeak or event server are gone, and you can just now join a Discord and chat with people for free anytime. I am so glad to have that capability nowadays. I think we should run, dudes. I think we should get on the plane.
Reinforcing!
Just pulled a back in my day story. It's, you know, I'm old at heart. I may be only in my 30s, but in my heart I am a 60-year-old man. Oh well. Just got ragdolled off the cliff. Get on the Pelican, everyone. We need to evacuate, please. Please. Can we?
Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Can we please evacuate? Things are not going well as you're barraging the area that you called me into. When I first started dating my wife, we were like 18 and 19. So just barely still teenagers. And I would visit her at work often. And the amount of people who like pulled her aside and were like, why are you dating a 30-year-old man? Like, you're 18, you don't have to date a 30-year-old man. And for her to explain like that's not a 30-year-old man, that is an 18-year-old boy you're looking at. Always cracked me up how much people were concerned, like, you don't have to date him, you know, you can find people your age if you want.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent. Another victory for the right side of history.
These stories are crazy. I've just always been old at heart, and then I worked night shift for 4 years, and you'll see the memes about working night shift. Every one of those memes is true. Working night shift will age you so fast. You're not old. My knees hurt, and you just act old. Exactly. I'm cosplaying as old. Old at heart. Like I said, I wanted to stay up to watch the Blood Moon last night, and at 9:30 I was like, this is way too late, and I had to go to bed. Like, staying up to midnight was just not a possibility anymore. So
another victory for democracy.
Boomer. Okay. Here's my old man yells at clouds
to envisage what
rant for the day.
Larvae gestates with it.
Coordinates locked.
I know that a lot of people are frustrated with boomers. I understand why a lot of people are frustrated with boomers. I completely understand where that frustration is coming from. I am so sick and tired of seeing the all the jokes like on TikTok and YouTube of like Boomer goes to the grocery store, or how a Boomer reacts when they're renting a hotel, or Boomer tries to buy a car. Like, it's the same joke a million times, and everyone's doing it, and it's just it's not funny anymore.
Or suffer in bondage.
Played the OG
That
Helldivers on my old
determination
PS3, and
is
the amount of players who are still fighting was crazy. Campaign goes fast as well. I have been considering going back and playing the old school. I haven't played the original Helldivers, so I kind of want to go experience the original Helldivers because I've never gotten to. I know that people still play it. I know that there's still like a group for it, so I definitely do want to go back and see the old school Helldivers. I've heard that it's a lot of fun, so let's see here. Grab these, grab that, and oh, let's see. Let's grab that for fun. For fun, let's do that. As a guy who played the OG, please don't. I actually have, I just got the original Monster Hunter on, so I have a PlayStation 3 for recording retro games, so I'm excited to try the first Monster Hunter. Everyone's complained that the new Monster Hunter is too easy and too boring, and I never got to play the original, so I'm going to play the OG Monster Hunter and see, is it really that bad? Have you played the Helldivers board game? So the board game was just announced, and the Kickstarter is going to happen next month. I do hope to play it as soon as it comes out. In fact, I plan on making a video this week to try and convince Arrowhead that I should be one of the people who gets to, you know, try it as an influencer early and show it off and convince people to play it. Since I do board games, I paint minis, I love Helldivers. Like, please, Arrowhead, give me a chance. I want to, like, I hate the term influencer. I never want to be an influencer, but for Helldivers board game, I will be an influencer. Please allow me early access to it so I can show it off, talk about it, live and breathe it, and show people why they too should enjoy the Helldivers game. So I'm really, really hyped for it. I love board games. I actually want to stream more board games. I just haven't really found a good, effective way to do that. But I would really like to do more stuff with board games. I really enjoy board games, TTRPGs, paper and pencil games, like all of those things I super enjoy. So I would love to have more of that. I guess I should have just brought stuff that would actually blow the UFOs out of the sky. I think I've kind of messed this up a little bit, but we're here to have fun, right? We're just here to have fun.
Calling down fortifications.
Let's try these gas mines out. You've called yourself an influencer before, and it made me physically ill. You may as well use the title. All right, see you next time, Game Afton, and thank you for the sub. Thank you for hanging out, and we'll see you next time that you're out and about. I've used the title influencer before, jokingly or ironically. I don't think I've ever used it seriously. Dude just dropped an orbital barrage right onto my gas mine field. See you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, we're backing up. We're backing up. That's way too close. That is way too close, dude. You destroyed everything. I also want to finish my board game. I am working on a board game, and I have not spent the time I should have on building it. I guess I should really sit down and start to flesh it out. But I'd really like to get a board game out next year. So I really hope that I can achieve that goal. But I know that like the board games have become trendy, which is great because now there's more board games. But I know that actually like getting it published is now going to be a whole different a whole different beast because so many people are making board games now that I know it's going to be more difficult to actually get it seen with any seriousness. It still felt serious. Well, that's just a testament to how great my acting skills are, right? I am an actor.
Requesting sentry. Requesting fortification. Calling down a sentry. Can't liberate with this fucking arm.
One of the greatest of our generation, you know, I think that's a little too much, but you know. We just got a board game bar in your city, like you play board games and can drink, like that kind of a bar, because that's kind of a cool concept. Like we have some board game like places where you just go to play board games, but board game bar sounds like a great place to hang out and have some fun, especially if you're playing real board games. Here's the thing: is like there are still some people. And I get why, but there are still some people when you say, hey, let's play a board game, they're like, oh, like Monopoly? Like, no, Monopoly is not a board game. And Monopoly has ruined board games for so many people. Like, we're playing a real board game, not Monopoly. And I hate that people still feel like Monopoly is like, oh, we're playing board games, so we're going to play Monopoly, or Uno, or even worse, Cards Against Humanity. I cannot stand Cards Against Humanity. That is really awesome, though. The board game bar sounds like a great idea. I've always wanted to open, and I've never done this, because I understand, like,
Reloading.
Running an actual business is tough work, and I understand why it probably would never work, but I have always wanted to open in my area, like, a late-night cafe, because all we have in my area is places to drink. Like, if you want to go out after 8 p.m., your options are Jack in the Box or a bar. And I've always felt like we needed more spaces than that. I've always wanted to open like a late night board game cafe for drinking like coffee, non-alcoholic beverages, enjoying board games, and just like a place to casually hang out that's not as focused around drinking. And I've always wanted that, but I never thought it would actually do well, but we have nothing in our area that's open late, which is awful. Got a couple barcade, museum bars. Our Lego bar just closed. I think barcades are really cool. Here's the thing, though. Like, I love the old arcade games 100%. They're cool. Most of those arcade games really aren't fun. There are some fun old arcade games, don't get me wrong, but so many of the old arcade games exist solely to suck your quarters and really aren't that fun of an experience. That I feel like the barcades don't have a whole lot going for them with that, you know? Speakeasies, all sorts of themes. We got a place that does a dinosaur bar once a month, like as a theme. They do dinosaurs. That's kind of cool. But most of the themes for bars in our area tends to be dive bar seems to be the most popular theme in our area. So we don't get a lot of cool attractions. If I went up to Portland, this is one of those things, right? Like, I talk about how much I dislike Portland, but Portland does have some really unique and cool things in their area, without a doubt, as far as like bars, as far as late night attractions. My favorite is this place called OMSI. It's the Oregon Museum of like Science and something else. It's a really cool like hands-on museum for kids, but once or twice a month they do OMSI after dark, where they allow you to come in, grab a glass of wine, and experience all the attractions as adults, and that's like a really cool experience. I definitely think we need more of that. Especially since, as any magazine will tell you, millennials are killing the child industry, right? Millennials aren't having kids, so we need more experiences for just adults, since we're killing the kid industry. I could really use a
Throwing supply
resupply.
beacon.
These gas mines actually work pretty good. I'm surprised. They're very nice.
Fortification.
Our biggest barcade is mostly machines, but they also have a switch wall and dedicated PS5 and Xbox areas. I would like more barcades to run the kind of games that you can't, like, if I'm in the mood for an arcade game, I can literally just go online and buy, like, Atari Museum that has every Atari game ever, right? Or I can buy Konami Collection or any of the various arcade collections. Like, anyone can play those games pretty much anywhere for a low price now. So, like, it's not a huge incentive to go out to the barcade. My favorite arcade game of all time, Metal Slug. You can buy the whole Metal Slug collection for like $5 and play any Metal Slug as much as you want to and enjoy it. I'm happy for that. I want arcades to run arcade games that I can't have in my house. Things like pinball machines that I can't afford because a physical pinball machine is like $5,000. Or like the Terminator game or the Jurassic Park game, the games that have like the goggles that go over your head, like the physical guns and things like that. Like, give me games that I can't play in my house, and I will definitely show up because I can't experience that anywhere else. I don't have the machine at my house, and I'm not going to drop $20,000 on a machine to sit in my house so I can play the Jurassic Park the arcade game, you know? Put more of those in arcades, and I feel like you'll have a bigger draw. The Terminator 2 game was really cool, where you get like the mounted gun and you're in the back of a Jeep and things like that. The on-rail shooter experience. Those sort of things are all really cool. I'd like to see more of that in arcades.
Switch.
Our art museum has a monthly After Dark thing. That does sound like a lot of fun. The problem is, with that, as much as I'm vouching for that, I love the After Dark thing, is I don't drink. So a lot of times they focus on like the drinking aspect of it, which is cool for people who do. I'm not saying drinking's bad. I'm not demonizing anyone who drinks, but I don't drink. Therefore, half the time those experiences are super expensive because they're including alcohol, but I don't want to drink. So, like, either give me a discounted ticket where I don't have to drink, or offer me, you know, some coffee and other benefits rather than just drinking, because otherwise I'm paying all this money and then I don't really get a huge benefit out of it because I'm not going to be drinking the alcohol that you're providing, and that creates issue as well. But does your home have an $18 drink called the Game Over that's 7 different types of alcohol in a collectible cup? No, because like I said, I don't drink. Very rarely, like once every 3 months, I will enjoy a hard Mountain Dew or a hard Monster because they don't have caffeine in them, because I can't really handle caffeine super well. And that's about the extent of my drinking, is a hard Mountain Dew once every few months. Like, I just do not, I just don't drink.
Reinforcing.
Oh, well, I should have hit the thing sooner. That was my bad.
Requesting orbital strike.
When I stream, I get my 1 cup of coffee a day, because that's all I can handle is 1 cup of coffee before I get all sorts of anxiety attacks from the coffee, which is awful because I love coffee. I will drink a specialty coffee any day. However, here's my old man rant about coffee. If I'm going to drink a specialty coffee, I want to taste the coffee, right? Like, if it's just milk and sugar, that's not coffee. It's a milkshake. It's a coffee-flavored milkshake. I want to actually taste the coffee. I want to enjoy the taste of the coffee. That's why I'm ordering a coffee, to enjoy the coffee. So, you know, that is, I really despise that a lot of coffee joints have become so reliant on their expensive milkshakes rather than giving us actual coffee. They do that typically free events unless it's special guests, and then other refreshments and food trucks. I love the food truck scene. I am so happy to see food trucks coming back with a vengeance, but I am also unhappy to see how many food trucks are like out of their minds trying to charge $30 to eat at a food truck. Like the whole point of a food truck is it's supposed to be delicious, cheap, and fast. And when you start charging sit-down prices, like you're no longer the spirit of a food truck, right? Now I might as well just go to a restaurant. That being said, we have a food truck around here that sells what they call the Vampire Slayer quesadilla from a place called Quesadilla Wizards. As you can imagine, they focus on quesadillas. And that is fully worth the extra prices. That is one of my favorite foods I've had. They just take the quesadilla and they just pour garlic in it. So much garlic. Like, I'm pretty sure they use a whole jar of garlic on that thing, and I'm here for it. It is so good. I will eat a whole jar of garlic.
Allied destroyer leaving squadron.
Well, we didn't do well on this mission. This is the first time I've actually failed one of these. Team was getting overrun there. I think too many people didn't take this as a defense mission. I think too many people thought this was a blitz mission and didn't bring the right stuff. But I got to try out gas mines, which I'm really happy for. And I just got knocked right into my gas mines, so that's a bad experience. Yep. I'm gonna die. No two ways around it. Why is our resource levels? Who threw our resupply all the way out here? Alright, Wasp, do your thing. We need to take out some of these dudes so we can get to the extract so that Super Earth can execute us for failing our mission. Let's dodge the minefield. Oh, that has a lot of dudes. That has a lot of dudes. Come on, Stims, don't fail me now.
Objective located. West.
And out we go. That's disappointing. But hey, at least the game's not crashing. I want to do more Monster Hunter, but I cannot get Monster Hunter to stabilize. I got two days of playing Monster Hunter before now it's back to locking up and breaking every 30 seconds, and I can't enjoy the game. So I would really like to play Monster Hunter. I'm surprised they have not patched it yet. They promised us a patch that was going to fix things a couple days ago, and we have not gotten that yet. So that's a problem. I also saw, going back to board games, talking about the Helldivers board game that I really want to play. Apparently they made a Metal Gear board game that's super fun, and I kind of want to get it. But here's the problem with the board game renaissance. Again, love board games, love new board games coming out, really enjoy board games. Charging $150 for a board game. That's like the Elden Ring board game, the Kingdom Come Death board game. Like, so many of these board games are charging like $150 for a game that you don't even know if you're going to enjoy. And like, you need multiple players. And then the setup time, that's the one that gets me, is how do you convince, like, hey, let's come over for a board game night. All you need to do is sit here for 45 minutes while I set up the board, and then I'll read you the rules for 30 minutes, and then you can enjoy the game. Like, it's so hard to convince people to do that, you know? Time for a new PC. I'm not gonna lie, the thought crossed my mind that okay, maybe the problem truly is my PC. Maybe I need a 5090 and like a 16th generation Intel and maybe like 64 gigs of RAM, and maybe that'll fix some of the problems. But I'm pretty sure with Monster Hunter, it's not on my PC. I'm fairly confident the issue is squarely on them. That one is not my PC's fault. Let's grab that one, and let's grab there we go. All right, off we go. Plus, I don't like talking about replacing my PC because it's one of those things like there's that old saying that technology is indistinguishable from magic, right? That to someone who doesn't understand technology at all is basically magic. And there's some technology that for whatever reason just decides not to work, or it decides to work and it's just completely random. And I feel like if you talk about replacing your PC too much, then your PC's gonna be like, oh, you want to get rid of me? Okay, then I'm not going to function anymore. And you'll upset the, as they would say in the Warhammer universe, you'll upset the machine spirit and ruin your PC that way. So it's another nostalgia rip. Big business see millennials can't get over anything, and once subgenre starts bubbling under capitalism to do it. I mean, that's 100% a thing that once business sees that they can make money off of something, they're going to run it in the ground until it's no longer affordable for millennials. Like, burgers are one of those. What killed me? There was no explosion. Burger restaurants are a huge problem with that right now, right? Like,
Calling down a sentry.
as much as I'm a vegetarian now, I enjoy a good burger. It's undeniable that burgers are delicious. That is just a fact of life. But when you have all these bougie restaurants that are trying to charge $25 for a burger and then $5 for fries on top of said burger, like, you're ruining the burger industry with your bougie burgers that nobody wants. Thus, Pokemon games are $200 and everything's being remade for a way higher price. Some gaming journalist released yesterday an article on, like, they were trying to say it's time for Pokemon to leave behind the archaic days of having to have two different versions of the game. And it's like, well, yeah, that's needed to be a thing for a very long time. They've needed to do that, but there's no way Pokemon's ever actually going to do that, right? Because they launched two versions of the game, and people still legitimately buy both versions of the game on day one. Like, they're never going to give up that cash cow. Jason, welcome in. And like, I'm part of the problem, but I don't buy both versions of the game for me, right? At least I have an excuse. I buy one version for me and I buy one version for my wife, and usually we play together. This time she didn't play Violet all that much, but I don't blame her because it wasn't very good. But there are definitely people out there who buy both versions of the game for themselves so they can play through both versions of the game, even though they're the same game. And like, I get that you want the exclusive Pokemon, but also, like, isn't that why trading is a thing? Like, you can just trade for the rest of the Pokemon. You don't need to buy a whole nother version. You can just get the other Pokemon. So, and then you have the delusion, like, there were so many Pokemon fans who were disappointed that we didn't get the announcement from Nintendo on having a special Pokemon Blue, Red, Yellow, Crystal, Sapphire, Ruby, Emerald special version. They're like, well, there was a leak for it and we were gonna get it. Like, there's no way that Nintendo is going to give you all those Pokemon games on the Switch. Like, now maybe I could see them possibly selling that as a special edition Switch 2 for for a hefty price that if you want a special edition Pokemon Switch 2 and you want all the original Pokemon games for it, for the low price of an extra $300, you could have that. That I could see Nintendo doing. But them releasing 3 generations of Pokemon for $60, there's no way. There's no way Nintendo would do that. They're gonna get their money one way or another. It's the same reason we haven't seen the Pokemon games really pop up on the GPA emulators, right? It would take them... the emulation already exists. It's already come out that Nintendo has used emulation, right? Like the technology is there, the technology exists. It would take them probably 30 seconds to get that up and running on the Switch. And they refuse to do it because... I don't know. Because they might make money off of sales of old Pokemon games somehow still. Or they want to keep the market alive, maybe, I guess. Point is, Nintendo's never going to do that.
Calling in reinforcements. Package acquired.
Reinforcing!
We can dream, but it's never going to happen. Never, never, never. What I would like to see is somebody make a Pokemon clone or competitor to the Pokemon that actually does well enough that it scares Nintendo into making a good Pokemon game. Because I feel like they're resting on their laurels. They haven't had to innovate or do anything new in so long because there's simply no true competitor to Pokemon. And it's absolutely true. It sucks to say, but like every Pokemon game that I've played that's a clone, like Temtem, this is a fun game, but it just doesn't hit like Pokemon. Like they failed to capture, I don't know if it's like the design of the fake Pokemon or what aspect of it is, but they haven't captured that magic. And it can't be pure nostalgia. There's got to be some other element that's missing. I would like to see someone make a good Pokemon clone that actually makes Pokemon scared, so they have to do something new and good. Ooh, okay, that guy's shooting at me. We're gonna run. We're gonna fall. Let's get reset up here so we can take down this dude.
Dropping package! Package acquired!
Have a taste.
Dropping package!
Sending in an eagle.
Dropping a pin.
Well, that was terrible play. I forgot I needed to reload my machine gun, so I couldn't pop that guy's shield, but he disappeared anyways, so I guess we win. I'm not sure if I'll count that as a win, but okay. We got half the objective done. Now the guy's gone, we can go finish it. Like, Power World tried, but I feel like Power World fell off. I need to go back. I know they've released an expansion, but it felt so... And it was early access, right? So this isn't a real criticism of it because it was early access, but it felt a little too janky and incomplete. Obviously because it was early access, but once it's fully complete, I'd like to give it another try. I want to try the new DLCs that they've launched for it. Power World gave it a go, but I feel like they leaned way too much into one gimmick, so with the Pokemon with guns, to actually give it a real run for its money. I'd like to see Digimon do it, but I don't think Digimon's ever going to be as popular as Pokemon. And I think part of that is just like the designs are so confusing and the Digi evolutions are so confusing. I don't think you're ever going to get someone on board with Digimon who's not just super into it already, you know?
Tagging map. Northwest. 50 meters. Dropping a pin. East. 200 meters.
I'd also like to see, since we're talking about games that we want to see,
Found something!
I would like to see more mobile games that aren't just, look, there's hot girls, play our game. Like, there are more mobile gamers than there are all other gamers combined. Like, the mobile gaming industry is huge, and yes, they make a ton of money, and granted, a ton of that money is from gacha gaming or taking advantage of boomers who are still playing, like, Candy Crush for some reason.
I'm on it. Supplies. Support weapon.
but like they could also make money by just making a good product, right? I guess that would make sense. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like they could definitely make some money there by making a good product. But also at the same time, I know that there's a lot of people who like look at an app and be like, I don't know, 99 cents for a game, that's too much. I'd rather download this free game over here and give them $20 in buying extra energy or whatever it is, rather than paying 99 cents for a complete game. Speaking of, there was a Reddit post that made me really sad to see when Monster Hunter came out. Someone had asked, are you allowed to play the game as much as you want? And people are like, well, what do you mean? And they were a mobile gamer. So like, well, usually after you farm like 3 or 4 monsters, you have to buy an energy pack to be able to continue playing or something of that nature. And I don't see that option. So like, are you allowed to farm as much as you want, or is there like some sort of daily limit or anything like that? Like the guy had played so much gacha gaming that he wasn't used to being able to enjoy a video game as much as you want to, and that was terribly sad to see that mobile gaming has ruined it so much for him that he didn't feel like he could play a game as much as he wanted to. So he's so used to having to pay for it or have to wait another day to be able to play more. And that's what we're up against with mobile gaming. Yet that seems to be what people prefer, right? Like if it wasn't profitable, if it wasn't working, people wouldn't put up with it. And yet here we are. And like I'm part of the problem. I love incremental gaming. Like the best example of incremental game, unfortunately, is like the Facebook farming games, where it's like you buy a farm field to grow the wheat, you take the wheat, you turn it into bread, you use the bread to get a cow, you use the cow to get milk, you use the milk to make an omelet, you use the omelet to buy another farm space, you use the other farm space to grow asparagus. I love that kind of like slowly building up. And unfortunately, every version of those games is also, hey, give us a lot of money to play more. And that's super frustrating because like I love that style of game, and I wish that someone would make something that wasn't so financially abusive in that genre, because I love that whole genre of game so much. I guess one of these days I'll just have to learn to code and do it myself, but unfortunately, as I've talked about, I took a programming class when I was in high school and very quickly learned that I do not like programming. I do not have the patience. I'm not built different. Programming is not in my blood.
Last reload!
Oh, reload faster. I've got a jetpack too, yo. Mine's better than yours. Actually, probably not, since he can actually fly and I can only jump, but you know.
Requesting sentry.
Deploying sentry.
I just finished reloading. This acid rain is getting really annoying. It's getting hard to see.
Have a taste of democracy.
Knock that out of the sky.
Fire in the hole!
All right, we got a pain right here. See if we can blow those joints off of him. We can at least stun him so someone else can do it. Someone else finish him. I don't have time for reload. There we go.
Last reload!
Oh, there's a convenient eat right here though.
I'm out.
And I missed. Good job, me. Good miss.
Wait!
Requesting
Where are squid? Okay,
Ending in
there
an
they are.
eagle. How'd you like the taste of freedom?
Yes, I can use resupplies, please. Boom! Go down. There you go. I think you're gonna get crushed by that hell pod, dude. Like, you're cutting it awfully close.
north, far.
Fly. To the sky.
I am so hyped for the board game for this. I really hope they give us a lot of miniatures. Like, I got the Darkest Dungeon board game, and it came with like 150 miniatures, so I would love to have like an endless voteless army. I'm trying to think, so there's 4 Helldivers. So what could I paint my Helldivers to be like that would make a team of 4? Like, the most obvious thing to me would first be like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle team of Helldivers. I could see
Reloading!
that. Like, there's 4 of them, but like the turtles are all basically the same, right? The only thing different on the turtles is the color of their like eye masks, right? So that wouldn't be super interesting. Like, my Space Marine team was perfect with My Little Pony because there were 6 ponies, but I'm trying to think of other squads of 4 that would match really well for that.
Outpost destroyed.
Calling in extraction.
Extraction shuttle inbound.
Other teams of 4. Like, there's got to be more. Like, there's got to. Let's see. Teen Titans. You've got Raven, Robin, Cyborg. That's 5 for like the main Teen Titans squad. So that doesn't work.
Calling down a sentry.
Justice League has more. I know they just recently did like a Gotham Knights game. There was a team of 4. They're like four Bat. What do you call them? Batman, Bat people. There's Nightwing. There's Robin. There's Red Hood, and one other one. I think you could probably make that work. Like a Bat people, 4 Bat people. Ooh, that was a little too close for comfort. Did not realize that was a mini nuke. Let's see, other teams of 4. Oh, there's kind of an old school reference, but like, isn't there a team of 4 like Yu Yu Hakusho? Like, you've got Yusuke, you've got Kuwabara, you've got Kurama, and you've got EA? That's a team of 4. That's an obscure old school reference, but I feel like not enough people know about Yu Yu Hakusho. Granted, I only watched like the first season because that's all they ever played on Toonami. I need to go back and watch the rest of it, but I feel like Yu Yu Hakusho is an underrated old school anime that doesn't get enough love. Full Metal Alchemist. You got Ed and Al, Winry. You can throw Mustang in there, or Hughes. You can make that work, I feel like. Cowboy Bebop, that's a team of 4, right? Spike and Valentine, the techie dude, and shoot, I'm showing how terrible my knowledge. I can't remember half the characters in Cowboy Bebop. I guess it means I gotta go watch Cowboy Bebop again since I can't remember half the characters. Although, and this was dumb kid me, I went watching Cowboy Bebop because at the same time they were playing Outlaw Star, and I always felt that Outlaw Star was cooler because their ships were way cooler in Outlaw Star, so I watched that instead of Cowboy Bebop. I regret that decision because there's no way the Outlaw Star is better than Cowboy Bebop. You could do Magical Girls, you could make this with Sailor Moon, probably make that work.
Pelican 1 preparing to depart. Shuttle launch in 20 seconds. Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
All right, we actually beat a mission. Look at that.
Democracy prevails once more.
We missed a SAM site. Where did we miss a SAM site? Huh. Oh well. Not like we need any experience or requisition slips anyways, so the whole point was to make the squids pay for destroying our planet, and that is, I feel we have accomplished that today. We have taken down quite a few squids. Come on, most kills. That's what we're going for. That's what we're going for. Most kills. Let's see some stats. Ooh. Sabu out there at 430. He was out there doing it.
A victory for democracy.
All right. Well, that does it about for me today. We did our waking up with waffles. We all successfully are awake and ready to attack this Friday. So, as always, let's finish with our prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Lord, thank you for this blessed day, and thank you for all that you do for us. Today, we pray for those souls who are in purgatory, those who have no one left to pray for them, those who are forgotten. Lord, help them. We pray for all those who have passed away, the souls of those who have recently been deceased, and those who are dealing with the grief and loss of those who are deceased. We pray for the Holy Father as he hopefully gets better and recovers from his medical emergency. We pray for all the educators who are struggling through the world of education and the problems that come with academia. And we pray for the world leaders who seem to be making various mistakes. Help them to bring about peace and prosperity for all people. All this we pray in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. Is a thing almost broke your phone today? I'm glad you did not break your phone. They are expensive to replace, so glad that is an almost and not a fully broken. I appreciate you all coming and hanging out with me as always. It definitely makes my days better when I get to start them off by chatting with you all. It's always a blast, always a lot of fun. Dex, I hope that meeting goes well that you're in. I know you can't say anything because you're stuck in a meeting right now, but hope it goes well. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Have a blessed Friday, and I will see you again bright and early on Monday.